Okay, so hello everybody. Today I've got Darren Robertson from Retail Gecko with me on the call. Darren is in a very interesting industry, but I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm going to be asking some questions about what it is that he does and why he does it. So welcome, Darren. Tell us about Retail Gecko, what it is you do and how long you've been doing it.
So today we give out e-training courses, offer e-training courses to our customers, along with a sort of blended solution. So we use an LMS system that we can integrate both subject matter experts, so myself, I'm more in the automotive industry, along with some compliance training as well. So we've got a compliance expert who will deliver training if that's needed for blended reasons. So yeah, we offer both e-learning as well as on-site or a sort of Zoom style training to lots of different types of businesses.
So is the training bespoke to each business, or do you have a kind of curriculum of offer with your training?
Yeah, there's a curriculum for the basics, so things like slips and trips, manual handling, holding the handrail, which a lot of people kind of laugh when I say that there's a training course for that. But yeah, in terms of being bespoke, that's normally needed for writing risk assessments and training for each industry. So perhaps if you go near food, then perhaps the food hygiene will be more applicable. And likewise with retail, lots of different things like consumer rights are then added into the training as well. So lots of different subject matters across lots of different industries.
So I suppose that the two questions that occur to me here is why training and why specialise in the automotive industry? What's your story?
Yeah, so my story dates back to when I was 18, hungry, very hungry, shall I say, young lad looking to make a career for himself. So I started off by selling cars, and I had to learn my way. Certainly cutting my teeth I found harder than I thought in that industry, but I guess in hindsight, an 18-year-old selling cars, perhaps coming across, you've got barriers to overcome. A perception straight away of being so young. So yeah, come from there, progressed my way through to working for different retailers. My latest appointment was at Volkswagen, or one of the Volkswagen franchises, and as a transaction manager. So I looked over the transaction, the compliance in terms of the FCA compliance there, made sure that everyone was compliant in my department, pushed sales, and made sure that we maximised the opportunities.
It's interesting that obviously the automotive industry is of interest to you and a passion. I've got a couple of clients in that sector as well, actually. Yeah. I know it's very broad in terms of what people do, but I want to go back to that 18-year-old salesman.
Yeah.
What was it about sales that was it something that you found you took to fairly readily? Was it a daunting thing? How did you find the whole sales process?
Yeah, so prior to that, I'd worked at a small retail outlet selling washing machines, tumble dryers, and I must have been the country's most enthusiastic washing machine salesman. I certainly was. I probably knew a lot more than I should, and I decided to leave sixth form college to do that, which I thought at the time, being offered a manager or managerial opportunity and take that on as a career progression, I thought was the right thing to do. Yes. In hindsight, the money wasn't, the money wasn't there, and I guess chasing the name badge was quite important to me at the time. But from there, I realised that I quite enjoyed the process of selling, dealing with people, and from there, I certainly had a passion for cars. So I thought I'd combine the two.
But you've done more than that, Darren, with respect, because you've also set up your own business. So you've stepped out from the employment kind of context where 96% of people sit, and you set up your own business. So what inspired you to do that?
I think I've always had the ambition to drive something and make something successful. I think more so than the money, more so than anything else, I think the success, and it's not really being my own boss, because anyone who says they're their own boss, almost to a point, I think is incorrect. In my experience, I think your customers will always be your boss if you own the company. And that's something that I believe we'll always be governed by somebody. And if we're not, then a focus, I think, starts to shift and we lose it. So yeah, the sort of entrepreneur inside of me, I guess, is, yes, it's there and it's hungry, but it's more hungry for the success and the feeling of success, I guess, than, and how I measure that. I think success is a funny thing, how we measure it. But that's my drive. My ambition is to build something that's my own and that I can build with other people, involve other people, and that I guess was the biggest learning curve for me from starting.
See, in everything that you just said, an image has come into mind. It's one of what we call the key principles that we teach, and that is that the business owner serves the team, and the team serve the customers, and the customers serve the business, and the business serves you, and that's how it should be. So when you were saying a few minutes ago about the customers being the boss, you're right, but via the fact that they're actually the boss of the business, and the business is delivering what you're looking for out of life. And so many people forget that. So it's interesting to hear such wisdom coming from from such young shoulders. So that's great. So Dan, tell me, who's your ideal customer?
Well, my ideal customer has changed, in the last kind of 6 months or so, with the sort of pivoting of COVID and what I've been doing. But I still, a big part of what I do is still with the automotive industry. So that's kind of small to medium automotive businesses. And that's almost all of them who struggle with certain aspects. So there's 2 or 3 products or services I provide. And all 3 of them are valuable to businesses and provide a good return on investment. So in answer to your question, who are they? Small to medium businesses that are franchised to the brands directly.
Right. Okay. So actually, before we look forwards, let's look back. You've been doing this for 3 years now. It's quite a young business, and clearly it's growing. If you could wind the clock back though 3 years and do anything differently, or have some advice for yourself, what would that be?
I think my advice to my younger self would be to ask more questions from experienced shoulders, take more advice, look for coaching, look for advice, because I think from where I was so young, pushing forward in the industry, becoming a manager at 25, in quite a, seeing all of the people who were working under me were most of them are 10 years my senior, if not more. One thing I'd learn is ask more questions, don't go into it a bit arrogant, which perhaps is what I did. I went into it very confident, going, look, I'm going to smash this, without the strategy in place. So more strategy, ask more questions, certainly get more advice, and that perhaps is what I've learned. But it takes time. I think we're all products of our own experience. So the person I'm today is definitely different to the person I was 3 years ago.
Okay, that's really interesting to hear. And again, wise words. So many people start their business just by jumping in, don't they, without really thinking about what they need to have in place. And it's interesting you mentioned coaching, because I think quite often a certain degree of arrogance comes with starting a business as well. The great technician who thinks they're going to be a great business owner. For anybody who's watching this, one book I would always recommend is E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. The technician, the entrepreneur, and the manager, and getting the balance right between those things. It's clearly something that's in your mind as well, and you're working towards. So what's for the future, Darren? What for the next few years? Yeah.
So now my ideal client has changed from just being automotive industry. Now we're dealing and helping businesses with the training side of compliance. Actually, my ideal customer is going to be anyone from kind of having 3 employees plus up to and including 200 to 300 employees. You know, I provided a quote for a car retailer with 250 employees in, to look after their full LMS system. So to add on, look after their training needs, add on when they've done training, so a full managed system. I'm not just throwing a computer system out there at them, it's fully managed, so I'll be in there tracking all their training as they receive it as well, on site, off site, on my system, and also off of it as well, so it tracks all the CPD hours and all the requirements for different industries. So that's my client has changed. To go forward, I'm looking to collaborate more with people, so certainly looking to help more people out in different industries. If someone needs some help, you know, choosing what training they need, and I think that's probably one of the issues. There's different providers of training out there, but knowing your requirements is, you know, harder than it appears, as I've found with, you know, all the training content that that we have to offer. So for example, you know, a business perhaps with 10 employees might not think about getting things like unconscious bias training, sexual harassment, having training with regards to their environment as well. So they're all the sort of more obscure ones that people often wouldn't have thought of until a problem happens, until you get 2 people signed off work for stress-related, you know, reasons, and then, you know, if that was to come back on you and say that you've done nothing to safeguard your employees, it's just not a healthy environment. So yeah, having all these types of training courses which are kind of off the shelf training that's there, so, you know, tried, proven, tested, blending that with, you know, their specific requirements as well. So yeah, not just 1 or 2 or the odd e-learning course here and there. It really is a solution for businesses, you know, that most people think they need 1 or 2. In fact, you probably need a whole host more if you're going to look after your employees properly.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. It's been quite a journey for you, from dropping out of sixth form college to being employed, being sales, and sounds like one of the most enthusiastic salespeople right the way through to where you are now. So congratulations, and
thank you.
Best wishes for the future as well, Darren. And thank you for joining us on the call.
Thank you, Evan. Well, you know, thanks so much, and we'll you know, have a chat about how you can help me some more.
Thank you.